weekly collectible giveaway on this YouTube channel, big card. And by the end of this video, I've got a good one. Look, I'm going to tie everything in, but in the beginning, it's not going to have anything related to sport cards or to comics, which is what I really talk about. Now, recently, I've been making NFT content, and at first, it's not going to relate to any three of those things. I'm a collector. Obviously. But let me tighten up your keyboards, because you know what? By the end of this video, you're going to discover something that can really be impactful to your life. So, all right, let's get ahead and I want to show everybody something real quick. According to the Google machine, January 1st, 1983 is the birthday of the internet. That's when the internet two computers were able to talk, blah, blah, blah. All right. 1983, you already know, Atari, old school. If you weren't around back then, you had Pac-Man. I remember my older sister, I was not allowed to touch the Atari when she was home, type thing. Like she went up to go get a sandwich. I can maybe sniff the joystick. I could sniff it, but I wasn't allowed to, touch it, and God forbid, play it. You crazy. I would be in a headlock in a heartbeat. All right. So, this is okay. So now fast forward, 1996 is when we got internet. And because I was like, you know what? 83, we didn't have internet. We got internet in 96. So what, well, it was not common, at least not where I grew up, for people to have internet in the crib. So I was like, all right, so what was going on in 96? So I found this video it's a training video for learning how to use the internet in 96. And you can see here, man, I remember this. I remember this is what it looked like.
We see that our page,
man, I know you can't see this on the screen, but it was very blocky, super slow, and a lot of hyperlinks, and it was not user friendly.
But they are not always blue.
So yeah, so you can see I remember it was very, blocky, a lot of links, a lot of hyperlinks. I don't know if you were around back then, but look, if you were, you know what I'm talking about. You know how horrible this was. It was crazy. And it was big for chat rooms and stuff, and if just in case you want to see what was going on in 96. This is what happened in 96, bro. Spice Girls. Remember that? Yo. Anyway, so now that you put that in perspective, okay, so the internet was really late 90s, right? I'm sure. If you weren't around, if you're too young, this is what was going on, okay? In 96, internet was, chat rooms were starting out, AOL, internet, email. It was, becoming like, it was getting into people's houses. And you have to think, back in the days, what did people do for entertainment? And that's where the money is, right? Because where people put their attention to, that's where the money is. So you had plays back in the days, right? Then you also had like circus, and I went to the the Barliman Ringling, the circus, the museum over in Tampa, and the guy has like a mansion. It's like crazy, and they showed like how he lived, because the guy was just, he owned the entertainment, he owned the attention. So then you have radio. And we all know, how that was, right? And then you had TV. And then you saw back in the beginning of TV, what was it? It was black and white. You had, X amount of channels. And then, I know when I was a kid, we had, I forget, whatever it was, 7 channels or something. It was, we didn't have cable, and then I do remember the day we got cable. And then we went from, having... Well, we had channels 2 or whatever. I know the last channel was 13, PBS, if I remember right. This is New York. I think maybe everybody was the same. I don't know. So, and then so Now, don't worry, I'm going to tie everything into sport cards and comics. Stick with me here. So, I'm just trying to get you into that frame of mind of how we've evolved. And then black and white TV, color TV, cable, uh, internet now comes out. We have internet. Then it looked super slow. It looked horrible. It was clunky. And now people were telling me when this came out, like, oh, you'll be able to buy clothing from that. I said, no, man, I'm not gonna go buy clothing from this thing. Look at this. It's horrible. I need to try the stuff on. Right. And now, you can go onto certain sites and you stand in front of your camera, your phone, and it'll tell you, you're like, oh yeah, this is the size that'll fit you. And you can, pick the color and this and that and the third. Is like, oh my goodness. And now you told me that in 96. I was like, I know this is big. I know the internet is going to be big, but really that big? I don't know about all that. But look at where the internet has gone. You have to. So, all right. So now as a collector, I was like, okay, Top Shot. All these NFTs. Like, I don't care about that. I really don't care. I like my physical items, my tangible items, and I get that. And that's why I was like, I don't care about NFTs. Like, I'm not going to go onto a video game. I don't play video games anymore, you know? So, but then I was like, you know what? Let me do a little bit of research on this. And so I came across Gary Vaynerchuk, who I've been following for years and for business advice and stuff. So Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm like, what does he have to say about VR? He's invested tons of money. If you don't know who he is or his background, he was in the beginning of internet where he took a liquor store and was like from day one, that literally day one of Google having ads, he put his business there and made millions. Then he started a media company and he's invested heavily in social media because he's been always a visionary of where things are going to go, and he's big on like the people's attention, right? Like, where is it going? And that's where the money's going to be. So that's what happens. So he's saying VR, virtual reality, is going to be the next big thing. He's investing big in it. Then Mark Zuckerberg, I find out he's making a virtual reality world where it's going to incorporate social media into this VR world. And they're going to be people are going to, and you see how social media is. You have people from every age all the way up to whatever. My mom is on big in Facebook. She's constantly on it, right? So people love social media. So now you're talking about you'll be able to put on a headset, gloves, go and talk to other people, just like social media, but it'll be versus you on your phone. You'll be able to actually see them. And they're already saying that these visors are not going to be the future. You're going to be able to even put contacts on and enter this world. So this whole headset stuff is just right now. It's like Atari, So we got to think ahead of where this is going. That's what they're saying. And so you'll be able to go in, and now you have a few different metaverses. You have the central land. You can go there and it's a virtual world, buy land. You can rent out land. You can sell stuff from your piece of land. Put a store there. You can rent it out. And so I'm learning all of this. I'm like, holy moly, man! You have Sandbox is another one. Traverse. You have VV-verse coming out. And like I said, Mark Zuckerberg is coming out with one, and Mark Cuban. I see Mark Cuban. He is running the OpenSea, which is the eBay for NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And that's NFTs and all that. They're all made on the blockchain, and so these digital assets, you'll be able to take them to your virtual world. So you have your virtual house, and I know it sounds so far-fetched. Believe me, when I first heard about it, I was like, no, but then you have to think about it. People are addicted to their cell phone because of that engagement. How much more immersive is it if everything versus this little screen? I don't have a phone right here. This little screen turns into your environment. People are going to be addicted to that. So you have to just think about that. That's the next big thing where their attention going to be. So all right, so now let's link it to sport cards and comics. So already Marvel is on it. I already have a slew of digital comics, and they're all numbered. That's why the price, the value of comics or vintage baseball cards or sport cards they're there. Why? Because the demand is here, the product, the quantity is down here. So drives up the price, the value. And they know this. That's why they're putting a short print, on these pieces, on these comics. And you have Top Shot. And again, I was like, Top Shot is, I don't care about that. And it spiked up and then it came down. Right, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna fade. Top Shot may fade. I don't know, but VR is not. VR is going to wreck shop. I know right now it may seem like it may not, but if you're a collector, just bear this in mind that if everybody's going to this virtual world, and that's what what they like to do versus going onto a social media platform on their cell phone or playing video games. They already want to have video games incorporated there. So you're in this world. You have a virtual house where you can display your digital assets, your digital cards, your Honus Wagner digital version of it, which is numbered. One to, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000, whatever. You have to think, there's the demand for that Honus. How many of us wouldn't want a Honus Wagner? A Roberto Clemente rookie, a Jordan rookie. The list goes on and on and on, right? Now, there's the demand, but yet you can go and have it on display, and you can have it rotate every 5 seconds between your whole collection. That one picture of this card, and then that card, and this card, and so now it's kind of bragging rights. Just like how I have my card collection here. Now, if it's just anybody, I can't share this with them because it's worth a lot of money. I don't know what they're up to, right? There's a lot of grimy people out there. You have to be careful. But over here, the blockchain, nobody can steal your stuff. So I can have it on display. I can have my house open to anybody. They can come and see my whole collection, and no problem. So if that is a thing, and you have to think the next generation, those 12-year-olds that are going to start buying cards, what's their frame of mind going to be? Do they want the physical or do they want the digital? I think that next generation, they're going to want the digital. So the demand is going to go up on the digital. So, our cards, let's just say that card that's worth $1,000 now, in 5 years, what type of margin are we looking at? Okay, so now that comic book, that digital comic book, or that digital card, that rookie, because that Jordan digital card is the rookie. Remember, it's the first one that came out digital. Okay, so that card, how much is that going to go up in value? I know that comic books that I just bought, again, anything can change, but you pay $7 for it. And I have some that are worth $70 in a few weeks. And this is just the very beginning of things. Now, we don't know. I don't want to give any guarantees. We don't know what the future may bring. But man, VR 5 years from now may be in everybody's house. VR may be in everybody's house. Not everybody, but a large majority of us may have VR in our house. And now what? Now those digital assets that you could have scooped up for a few dollars are worth 10x, 100x. I just wanted to make a video and just mention that. Don't ignore the digital assets. When I first heard about it, but then when I heard about Mark Cuban investing big in it, Gary Vee, Mark Zuckerberg, these guys are not dummies. And I'm like, man, if that's what they're investing in, maybe I need to reconsider my point of view of digital assets. And look, I have made videos where I mentioned, oh man, these digital assets are fugazi. That's just, so I'm changing my tune. Want to make a video about it? That's it. Drop a comment. Let me know about what questions you may have. I may be able to answer them. I'm new to this game, but I may be able to answer. Doctor Strange, close friend from the channel, he may be able to answer. So, and if not, I can point you in the right direction possibly. So, all right. So again, good luck in all your investments. I don't want to drag this on, but I think it was an important message that I leave with everybody because I am learning about what's happening in this whole industry. And I'm like, man, collectors need to know. Even if you just go and dabble here and there, at least you get to experience. I never flipped a card ever until 6 months ago or so. I dabbled. I tried it. It's not really my thing. I don't enjoy it. I'm not finding joy in it really. I just have a lot of other things going on. So maybe if I wasn't busy with other projects, I would put more effort into it. But anyways, so all right, like I said, good luck in all your investments. Think about it, but stay tuned. I'm gonna be continue to post about my sport card collection, my comic collection, and now my NFT collection. All right.